Savard has been a RAIN member since 2005. 2006, he was a top 10 award winner. His portfolio has grown to well over 30 doors. I think he's just closed on a couple of doors in the past 10 days or so.
60 doors.
I'm sorry?
60 doors.
Oh, 60 doors. 60 doors, I'm sorry. And so John is in the world of commercial leasing. And it gives him some insights into some economics and things that are going on as well. And John's here tonight to share some of those insights with us. So please, a nice big round of applause for Mr. John Savard. Come on up, John.
All right.
There you go, man.
Thank you very much.
You got this under control?
Forward, back, right?
Forward, back, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hi, I'm John Savard. I work in commercial office leasing in the downtown. What I'm here to talk to you about is the activity in the commercial office leasing market, specifically downtown this year, as far as net absorption numbers, has been significantly high, all-time high. And what that means to me as an investor, what this hopefully will mean to you as investors, and the forthcoming reality and maybe the next boom coming forward. I'm going to show you what's behind the curtain. People see a great deal of vacancy that happens downtown, and there's actually an underlying story behind that. What it means to you, how it should make you money, the good news, and then the fearless forecast thereafter. Now, as I mentioned, I work in commercial office leasing. What that means is that I represent tenants for their office lease negotiations, their renewals, their expansions, put together financial business cases to present to CFOs, to board of directors, so they can present it to their board of directors to undertake significant corporate capital expenditures on behalf of their companies. Now, I'm also a fellow RAIN member. We joined RAIN back in 2005, and in that time, as you can imagine, a lot of the clients that I work with are gray-haired people, wealthy people. A lot of them went through the National Energy Program, and back in 2005, a lot of them, enough of them scared me enough for me to say to my wife, well, girlfriend at the time, that I'm going to sell all my properties. I had two at the time. So what she did, she was actually studying at MIT in the Center for Real Estate Development, and being a wife that's, well, clearly much smarter than I am, she did her thesis on Calgary and discovered that in 2005 there's a boom that's forthcoming. She came back and said, we're all in, and at this point then we bought lots of properties in 2005. We actually closed on 17 properties in 2006. I was proud to say I was awarded the top 10 membership for RAIN, and we got our gold pin that year also. So been chugging along with that. So I am you also when I'm not doing my day job. So since then we just closed on 2 properties here this week, and hopefully can buy a few more here this year. And we own everything ourselves, so we don't have any joint venture partners on that. So what am I about to tell you is that in 2005, the factors that we saw in the marketplace are being repeated. We are seeing a significant amount of uptake of space and absorption, and I really think there are substantially amazing things happening here in Calgary. Now keep in mind, if you don't understand what I do, I don't own commercial office buildings. I'm not making any money off of that. I just represent tenants. It's in my tenants' best interest to generate the best lease costs for their benefit. I'm not promoting the landlords in the city and trying to increase the values of their buildings, even though that does happen in the transactions that I negotiate on behalf of my clients. Historically, this is some of the information that I would present to a CFO or a president of a company for him to bring to his board. This just shows historical, 1992. I bet there are some people out here that started off at the university in 92 trying to find a job with 22% vacancy in here. Going forward, 1996, 97, some significant things that happened in here. CP Rail moved to town in 1998. Oil went to $10.79, and then Kyoto through here. In this area, what you're seeing is Imperial Oil landed. and that basically to the minute started the boom in Calgary. This run-up of leasing in space is what I'm going to talk about too, is the absorption numbers, the net take-up of office space. That's going to be my message today. Interestingly enough, in this point right here, Imperial Oil landed. People were saying it was long overdue. They should have moved here in the 70s. They finally came around to doing it. Interestingly enough, Dalton McGuinty's acceptance speech, he said, "I am going to raise corporate taxes." So I can just imagine Mr. Tim Hearn, in my imagination, sitting with a glass of scotch in his office, waiver letter right on his desk, just as soon as he hears that or knows it's going to happen, put it in the fax machine, press send, move Imperial Oil to Calgary. That's when the boom started, right at that point. Going forward, here we are, 0% vacancy, extremely unhealthy for the Calgary office leasing market. Here's our peak in 2009, and back to 14% vacancy now. Now, here's all that office space that people see, and people will anecdotally tell you, well, the Beau's coming online, I'm going to get $0 net deals. Not true. What has happened is that this building cycle has ended. There is nothing else in the pipeline, and it predominantly is all spoken for. Except for here in 2013, announcements are that South Bow they've taken up the development permit. It's very strongly rumored that Enbridge is the lead tenant for that. So that is some activity coming forward. This is the number that we're talking about, absorption, 2.6 million square feet of positive absorption in Calgary in 2010. That is off the back of negative 1.5 million square feet of absorption, negative absorption in 2009. Here's the message. In 2005, the actual occupied space was 33.6 million square feet, and now it's 34 million square feet. Now, I don't want to bore you with the numbers on here, but what this really means to me when I'm sitting out there as an investor, when I'm talking to Mario Toneguzzi at the Herald, here's my quote in here. It said, interestingly, the average CBD, Central Business District, office tenant requires an average of 300 square feet per employee. This suggests the CBD will hire 8,600 new employees. Net migration, you hear Don talking about it all the time. One of the major things to look at in an economy is where the net migration is happening. 8,600 new people, high-paying jobs. A lot of those people, hopefully, will be renting my houses in the northeast of Calgary. Here's the math on that. 2.6 million square feet, 300 square feet per person. Indirect approach, their indirect effect on that, there are experts that can speak to that. That is not what I can talk about, but of course you can imagine there's a significant spin-off effect from here. This article that Mario had in the Herald already shows what I've already represented, that 6,900 people have stopped their their EIs from November to November. In annualized, it's gone down 37%, plunged 37%. So 6,900 people have been employed. So, clearly businesses in Calgary are very bullish on the economy. People are sitting on their hands in 2009, not wanting to do too much. We're seeing activity in the oil companies, not the natural gas companies, unfortunately, but definitely in the service companies. The new fracking techniques are apparently very labor intensive. The engineering required is very labor intensive. And guess what? That labor has to happen here. When I talk to my clients, I say, well, why don't you just outsource 500 people to Bangalore? Well, the reality is it comes down to local knowledge. The engineers, the community feeds off each other. They communicate. They won't communicate about secret components, of course, but they will talk about the productivity of their wells, and they need that here. So that's the head office effect here in Calgary, is what I see. Now, whoops. Now, in here, the excess inventory you see downtown is also a great thing, because of all these companies are now spending 40–50% less on their corporate real estate. And when I look at that as an investor, that means I think, hopefully, they're going to hire administrative assistants, engineers. Those people are going to have jobs, and they're going to pay my rent. So I'm really excited about that now.